Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Video Learning. Today, we're putting this son of a gun on our engine. So, first of all, we gotta measure the clearances for this crankshaft. So, first, without further ado, let's jump right into it. We're gonna get some calipers and measure it out because this guy doesn't have any plastic gauge and I don't feel like going again. So, let's hop right to it. Hey guys, so turns out our audio is complete crap. We had our lenses sitting on top of the audio, so it's not gonna work. So as you can see, what I'm doing now is I'm showing you the clearance for the crankshaft journal. Right there, it's highlighted in yellow, and on the plus dash minus side, that is our tolerance. But essentially what we're going to do now is we're going to take out some calipers of my dad's. There's some really nice ones. We're going to measure the crankshaft journal, and it should be, like it says on there, 1.188 plus or minus 5 thousandths. So as you can see here, we're going ahead and we're measuring it. It takes a few seconds because you got to drag it along the journal, make sure it's good. As you can see what I'm doing right now, it all checks out and we're all good. So then we're going to put the set of calipers away, and then we're just gonna get out our connecting rod, and we're gonna start checking the clearances for those. So as I'm jostling the camera around here, we're gonna get this thing in there and set up. Alrighty, so now we got our connecting rod all nice and tightened up and everything, making sure it's in there nice and good and it's not gonna get scratched. I'm gonna use my good old Tecton ratchet with a 3/8 drive and a 1/4 inch 12-point socket. For the arc racing billet aluminum connecting rod, you need a 12-point socket, 1/4 inch 12-point socket. So as you can see here, we're gonna get this top piece off and we're gonna put on the crankshaft and we're gonna put it all together. The issue I had was I had a wrench that was in foot-pounds, not inch-pounds. So I'll make sure to put the conversions in the description for you if you've got an inch-pounds one. So essentially we're cleaning it up, we're going to throw the bearings in there, and we're going to throw the crank in there. Alrighty, as you can see here, I'm holding up some oil. What we're going to do is we're going to take the bolts that bolt into the connecting rod, the 2 bolts, and we're going to take a little bit of 30 weight oil. This is actually 10 weight, you need 30, this will work fine. Put a little bit of that on the ends of the bolts, and we're going to torque them down. As you can see I'm doing now, I'm just filling a little cap. See, I'm dipping the bolts in the oil now, we're going to start screwing those babies in there here in a second. Alrighty, now as you can see here, we are using the torque wrench and we are putting that son of a gun on there. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start at 5 foot-pounds. So get those bolts torqued down to 5 foot-pounds to start. And then what we're going to do is we need to move up in increments of 20 inch-pounds all the way up to 170 inch-pounds. The conversion is 1.5 foot-pounds is equivalent more or less to 20 inch-pounds. So as you can see now, I'm checking my piece of paper. But what you're going to want to do is start at 5 foot-pounds and add 1.5 foot-pounds alternating bolts until you get to 14.5 foot-pounds. So I'm just going to cut to the end of this because this is kind of boring. You get the point. Click. Alright, since we got the clearances checked, we're just going to make sure it spins nice and freely inside of the crank or camshaft, which it does. So then now what we're going to do is we're going to take the camshaft
no, the connecting rod back off the crankshaft, and you never want to use a torque wrench to loosen bolts. They're only designed for tightening them down. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take my good old ratchet with a 12-point socket, and we are going to pull those bolts off. And you don't want to loosen one all the way. You want to just kind of work your way back and forth. It's going to be better for the bolts, better for the crank connecting, which will be all good in the end. So we get these all taken off and we'll be all set. So the next part here is we don't have any. We're going to port and polish the head, and we are going to put in the flywheel. So we will do that here in a second. Alright, so now we are going to take our piston head, and we are going to put it onto our new connecting rod. And there is a little C-clip which you're going to have to use a pick or a screwdriver in this case to pop it out. And where I'm looking for the picks, we're going to pop that C-clip out and then pull out the pin. And there's our C-clip that sat inside the piston. Now the little rod should just pull right out, just like that. And then we're going to take that is junk, we don't need that. Now with our new connecting rod, that we're putting in the piston, the arrow points to the bottom of the engine, and our connecting rod has to line up with that arrow. The dipstick on the connecting rod, which you can see I'm holding now, needs to face down as well. Alright, so as you can see now, I'm lining everything up, pointing to the arrow, again, making sure everyone understands what we're doing here and how it's going to fit inside the engine. The arrow faces down toward the oil or toward the bottom of the engine, however you want to see that. So now let's go ahead and put in the pin. Oh, another thing you have to remember, as I just pointed at the camera, there are two dots that line up the bottom half of the connecting rod with the top half. Those dots always have to line up when you tighten down the piston, or tighten down the connecting rod. Oh man, this is rough. Alright, trying to get that sucker in there. Almost got it. There we go, now she's in. Now we gotta put the C-clip back in there, which I assume is gonna be kind of a pain in the butt, but you can just push back in there with your finger. It's not that big of a deal. Or you can use some heavy-duty tweezers like I'm doing right now. Or needle nose pliers, that works as well. To put that sucker back in there. Alrighty, so now we are just torquing down our crankshaft, not our crankshaft, our connecting rod bolts. And this is kind of a tedious process because the torque wrench would only fit on one bolt rather than both of the other bolts. So we torque down one, got the feel of it, and then torque down the other with just a ratchet. So let's speed up the end of this, and then we'll get to the flywheel.
Got it in there. And we kind of went. What we had to do is we had to. So we put it. I couldn't get the. Oh, look how close that is. That's unbelievable.
You're gonna get so much more compression with
Oh, yeah.
that. Ooh. Oh,
You don't stop.
that little bit of. You wouldn't think it's that much, but it's thick gasket.
Yeah. All right. So. Rod's in. Now comes the flywheel. I gotta get the stupid looking key out of here.
Don't you have a tab? Or like a
Tab.
no, like a. I forgot what it's called. But you can just.
A little bit of air. Alrighty, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little bit of this valve grinding compound. I'm not entirely sure how much you need, but we're just gonna go on it. On there, right? Put it on the. Get it on there. We're gonna get it on there. Now, take your flywheel and we're gonna put it on there. We're gonna. Basically, this is gonna do is gonna remove all the burrs and stuff. It's gonna help us seat the flywheel. That should be good enough. There's a reason we're not machinists. Yet.
Is that backwards?
No. No. And there. It's not a pain in the booty hole. Don't even bother giving me crud about that in the comments. I already know. Okay. Let's put that little buddy on there. Now our fins, which are kind of jerry-rigged. That little guy right there. Can we just smoke in this fins? Not a big deal. Alright, so we're gonna get this guy over there. Now this thing. Alright, now we're gonna throw a block of wood inside. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna stuff it inside. So, what are we at right now? Sam? I mean, we're already at 14, so.
There we go. Alrighty, well, the mini bike engine is almost put back together. In the next videos, you'll see us starting it up and eventually putting a nitrous kit on there and going really flipping fast. So thank you for tuning into this episode of Mini Moto. I know the audio was kind of all over the place, but it's the best we got for this time. Thank you for tuning in once again, and have a good day. See ya.